good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop, and that's the place to go for you guys to get your drip on and dress a little bit different from all these other weirdo type of stuff out there. Okay, today's episode we're covering colorism, and when it comes down to colorism, it seems like in a lot of places people are more pointing the finger at darker skinned people, and I feel like in our community we always go by, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
That's a fact.
Facts.
But I don't know what's up with these people. We got a lot of people, they're sick-minded, and they have these ideologies that just never adds up when it comes down to social media and real life. But let's jump right into this conversation and see what's going on, because, this is true. So you guys leave your comments down below, and, if you want to talk to me live on my morning show, 9 a.m., Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Don't be scared to show your face. Just show up. Let's get it.
Mickey made it. Mickey made what you made, Mickey.
When y'all try to compare the struggles and experiences of other people of color to the struggles and experiences of Black folk, y'all like to forget one critical detail, and that is that everybody hates Black people. And I'm not saying this to be victim-y here, but the truth is almost every culture has some component of either anti-blackness or at least colorism, which is discrimination against dark-skinned people. So when people say, oh, I'm insert race or ethnicity here and I don't feel this way, Black people are being dramatic. No, Black people have a different experience from you, especially if they're darker skinned, because everybody's got beef with us. It might seem like we're sensitive or nitpicky, but that's because so many key parts of life are built on a foundation of anti-blackness and colorism, which means that, there's an issue in a lot of the things we do in a day. And when someone points that out, it's not because they love being the victim. I know I personally would much rather live a life where this doesn't impact me on a day-to-day basis, but it does. And if you are exhausted of hearing us all the time, imagine how we feel.
We often talk about the struggle of dark-skinned Black girls, but rarely talk about the struggle of dark-skinned Black boys. Dark-skinned Black boys suffer with self-esteem issues in their own way. They're often seen as too tough or not enough. This could be why when they reach a certain level of success, they go out and get women who are validated for their beauty. This is usually white women and light-skinned women. This gives them a sense of validation. That's just my theory. But regardless, we do need to do a better job of encouraging our young dark-skinned Black boys, letting them know that they are handsome, they are intelligent, they are beautiful, and they can do absolutely anything they put their minds to, and they are loved.
In the community that I grew up in, colorism was a big thing, right? So the lighter you are, the better, or the lighter you are, the more beautiful. And I always remember thinking to myself, and this was innate in me, I just remember thinking, I don't know what they're talking about because I'm beautiful. Even though I'm dark and, people around me are saying that, oh, you're dark. I used to get picked on, called names like Blackie or Tar Baby. I mean, it's not fun. It's to me now, it's funny. But then, it wasn't funny, right? I kind of would roll my eyes at them when they said it. I should have been more like,
y'all in my comments tell my little Kim said she want to be a Latina woman. That's why she bleached her skin. Because society as a whole treats non-Black women better than Black women. I'm not defending skin bleaching, but society has shown how they feel about dark-skinned Black women. They even hire biracial women, light-skinned women, to play dark-skinned roles. That's how much they don't like dark-skinned Black women. So for you to come out comments to my, she trying to be white. Well, maybe society stopped treating people of lighter skin tones better than darker skin tone, maybe they wouldn't want to bleach their skin.
Here's the thing, unpopular opinion, but even
say is starting to look a little bit not like a brown queen. The blonde wigs, the light skin. The part to me that I really don't get is that a lot of people who are whites are doing everything that they can to bronze, self-tan, darken their skin. But we're, we ain't happy with our skin. We want to be white and they want to be black. I just don't understand. I feel like I ain't saying much because I really don't know what to say. I really want to understand where that self-hate comes from. Because here's the thing. This is a form of self-hate when you do whatever you can to look as non-black as you possibly can.
And I'm as girly as they get, right? So I never used to understand that. Like, it would be immediately, why you got attitude? I don't have an attitude. This is just my resting face. Yeah. Like, nothing's wrong. And I have light-skinned friends, dark-skinned friends, but it was always us that it was like, well, she got a problem. What is the problem? And I used to think, they must think that I'm masculine, and it clearly got something to do with my complexion because I'm not understanding.
Since this whole EK and colorism conversation is going on, there's been something I've been sitting on that I've been wanting to talk about when it comes to colorism and black women. I think as black women, we really have to have a conversation about colorism and the way a lot of light-skinned women feel the need to humble dark-skinned women, especially dark-skinned women that they find attractive. I've been experiencing this my whole life of feeling animosity from light-skinned women that it's really hard to explain. It's not all light-skinned women. I have light-skinned friends. I have a lot of light-skinned women that I've loved throughout my life, but I feel an animosity from light-skinned women often. I was on set with a friend that I work with, and I asked him the same thing. I was like, have you noticed this? Because I was feeling like a weird vibe from light-skinned women on set. He's like, oh no, I've noticed this my entire career. He's been in the game for over 10 years. He's constantly around attractive dark-skinned women, attractive light-skinned women, attractive women of all races. And he's like, I constantly see this tension between light-skinned women and dark-skinned women. I constantly see light-skinned women feeling like offended by the presence of a beautiful dark-skinned woman. I often feel like the light-skinned women feel the need to humble a dark-skinned woman, to let her know that she will never be number one, to kind of put her in her place. I've noticed this my whole entire career, and it makes me kind of uncomfortable to witness as a black man. I feel like I've been in multiple situations where I know a light-skinned woman is being very passive-aggressive and pushing me and prodding me to get a reaction out of me so that she could turn around and be like, oh, look, it's the angry dark-skinned girl, da-da-da-da-da. And I never give into it, or I rarely ever do give into it, but I constantly feel that. Even from light-skinned women who I thought liked me, once they start getting a little drunk and their prefrontal cortex isn't working the same at its full capacity, there's this nastiness that comes out. And ever since I started having these conversations with my other dark-skinned friends and other black men, we all see it. They're like, oh yeah, I definitely noticed. There's always a weird attitude, a weird this, a weird that. The second a dark-skinned woman gets them upset or slightly does something to throw her off, the colorism comes out. All of a sudden, all the nasty, oh, you're a roach and all this stuff, and they want to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, a lot of light-skinned women just are not kind to dark-skinned women. And it's not just overt bullying. It's a very much more insidious and low-key and passive-aggressive than we like to admit. And I know I have to make 50 disclaimers because this is TikTok, but I do love light-skinned women. I have light-skinned friends and everything like that. But throughout my life, anytime a woman has been particularly nasty towards me and it wasn't for a valid reason, or I've met a woman and she's immediately sizing me up, giving me kind of a weird, unfriendly vibe, 9 out of 10 times she is a light-skinned woman.
So she says, can you do another list for people who are tired of fighting for equality just because of the color of their skin? I would rather just move to places where I fit in all the way, i.e. Caribbean, African countries. Okay, so this video response is absolutely in no way any shade to Sway F who posted this. I think it's great that this was even brought up because I like to have this conversation. And I actually wrote about this topic, what I'm about to say, in my book, The Black Girl's Guide to Living, Loving, and Traveling Abroad. So here's the thing. If you are an Afro-American person and you want to leave the U.S. and you are you're considering different countries, but you would prefer to be around people who look like you, I think that you should do that. I really believe that if you feel like that, you should do that. You should always be seeking the path of least resistance for yourself. However, as an Afro-American person, you're going to need to understand the facts and realities about life. And I have said this in a couple different videos. So just because you go to an African country or the Caribbean doesn't mean that you're going to fit in all the way. There are going to be cultural differences. People are still going to see you as a foreigner. They're not going to immediately see you as one of them because people are about their nationality and their culture. And if they know that you're not from there, they're not going to consider you one of them. I had to learn that the very hard way when I started traveling abroad when I was a young woman at the age of like 19 years old. So I just need to put that out there. Like, go there if you want, but go there with the understanding that in their eyes, you are still American. Yes, you are Black. Yes, you are part of the African diaspora, but you're still American. And in some cases, they may look down on you because of that, because there are some people in the African diaspora who don't really care for Afro-Americans and look down on us. So just go there understanding that.
This is a subject that I wanted to run for a long time. The taboo of being dark. A lot of young girls are having to go through so much pressure, and so many marriage proposals are being rejected because of these toxic aunties and their backwards culture and their racism, that if you are dark, you are unappealing. And the darker she is, the uglier the children she'll bear, because they'll come out dark. It's disgusting that women are going through procedures like skin bleaching, which is so harmful for them, so toxic for them, just so they can be approved for a relationship, for a marriage, or for a family member to accept them. It's so wrong. It's so corrupt. Like products like skin bleaching and Fair and Lovely is put out there because if you're not white, you're not good looking. And it's shocking that we live in a day and age where this is still happening. Ladies, the darker you are, the beautiful you are. Embrace it. Here's a bit of an education lesson to those people who still believe that the fairer she is, the more beautiful she is. You can't change the color of your skin tone that you were born in. That's something that's beyond anyone's control. What your child looks like, you cannot control that. But stop making these girls feel so insecure because they're of dark tone. I have met so many beautiful girls who are so gorgeous from inside and out. And believe you me, they're 10 times more better looking than any fair-skinned girl out there. So, making somebody feel like crap because of their skin tone and pressurizing them to change the color of their skin tone just so you could approve of them as a human being makes me sick to the core, right? We shouldn't be living in this, in this day and age. We shouldn't be promoting any of this. Encourage these girls, embrace them for who they are. Stop looking at them and judging them because of their skin tone.
Not ashamed to admit it. It's hell in there. It's horror. You have to be...
Being a colored person in South Africa is very complicated. It's very sad and sometimes very heartbreaking to see what certain or some colored people have to experience, because the assumption is that all colored people need to look like the Cape Malays, when that's not necessarily the case. Yes, South Africa is known to have the most diverse genetic makeup when it comes to colored people, but that is not all colored people. And being a so-called colored person, I do classify as black, but my culture is colored. I have a sister, and I've mentioned this before, that looks exactly like me, but she's darker than me. So when she tells people that she's colored, they tell her, no, you can't be colored, because you're too dark to be colored. If she tells people she's black, then they tell her, yeah, but your hair is too straight to be black, so you can't be black. It's almost like people want to invalidate your living experience as a colored person by denying your whole existence.
I just want to be able to represent for the little black girls, because I remember I always looked up to Naomi.
Yes, you looked up to Naomi.
Yeah, and then for me, I get so many DMs from little girls saying that how much they believe in themselves and how much they say that I inspire them. Because I remember when I was younger, I hated how dark I was.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like people... I was bullied about it.
Yeah.
And now
so beautiful.
I've learned to really accept myself, and I just hope I'm inspiring little
You
girls.
are inspiring. Oh, absolutely not.
So I have a little story for y'all. So a couple months ago, I was out with a friend. Actually, more so like an acquaintance. We weren't really that close. And a waiter came over to our table and put a drink down. And he was like, the gentleman over there just bought you a drink. And my friend instantly thought that the drink was for her. And you guessed it, it was a light-skinned woman. So the waiter corrected her and told her that the drink was for me. And when I tell you, for the next few weeks, that girl was just hitting me with backhanded compliments for like she would just like swipe up on my story with like backhanded shit, or like anytime like our group of friends would really hang out, like she would just hit me with so many backhanded compliments. And it's just crazy to me how people get so caught up in desirability politics. And once they get around somebody who kind of alters that reality, they get so jealous. In my time of being a beautiful, dark-skinned woman who is confident as hell, I've noticed that when I'm around light-skinned women or white women who like the fact that they benefit from colorism or racism, they get really, really jealous when they see that I alter that reality. And even though dark-skinned women are viewed as the most undesirable in every single community, my pretty privilege literally works everywhere, including Miami. And this is coming from a girl with no ass or titties. Every room that I walk into, and this is seriously no exaggeration, people go up to me and tell me that I'm beautiful and ask me if I'm a model, and they all stare. And because I'm a woman who shakes the room and alters the reality of our colorist society, I make a lot of people uncomfortable. And because I am a dark-skinned woman, so many people are expecting me to be insecure. And because I'm so confident, it makes them even more mad. And this isn't all light-skinned women or white women, because I have been around white women and light-skinned women who are sure of themselves and do not feel intimidated by my presence. But there are ones out there who get so uncomfortable with the fact that I'm literally amazingly beautiful, and I shake the room every time I walk into it. And I'm sure a lot of beautiful dark-skinned women have had the same experience that I have. And it's honestly just so crazy to me.
Okay, as a dark-skinned black woman, I know that I am not the preference in every single community out there, which is fine. You know, I'm still a bad bitch regardless, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I noticed? Because dark-skinned women are viewed as undesirable in almost every community, some men feel like they instantly have a chance because we don't have many options in their eyes. And most of the time, these types of men who think this way don't even see dark-skinned women as their preference. They pursue us as an ego boost because from their point of view, they think dark-skinned women don't get no play. So they think that when a man approaches a dark-skinned woman, that dark-skinned woman is going to fall to her knees and feel so flattered because she's not used to men liking her in the first place. And as soon as you ruin their reality of the fact that dark-skinned women are bad bitches and we get play and I don't need your dumb, broke, raggedy ass, they literally lose their shit. I would be a millionaire right now if I had a nickel for every single time a guy went from pursuing me to lashing out on me just because I rejected him. Like, I've literally had men pursue me and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, like beautiful African queen, such nice skin. And then as soon as I rejected them, I became like a dark ass African booty scratcher. But yeah, when you reject a guy who didn't see you as his preference in the first place, ciao.
Number one, never let anybody tell you what beauty looks like to you. And to judge somebody from their complexion, I mean, it's just such a piss poor, low vibrational energy that I just can't seem to deal with those types of people. You know, the lost in these times will never get found. You guys leave your comments down below, and you know, having good people around you is always blocks all of this wicked and these weird people out the way. And you live your life and let them live their life, because that low vibrational energy is not gonna go 2025. We're getting rid of all those people, and they might consider themselves as good people, but in reality, they're not. So until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe,